Well, thankfully, thank you, Dan, for joining me and doing this because I really didn't want to talk about all this stupid shit alone. Even though I think it's actually going to be a good pay per view, premium live event, whatever the hell they call it.
Yeah, I'm very excited about this, considering the fact that the bloodline's nowhere to be seen. I mean, I guess the biggest male attraction on the Raw brand is, Bobby Lashley's not on it, Kevin Owens isn't on it, and it's still just solid six matches. I'm pretty excited about pretty much all of them, and it's so nice. Thank you, Hunter, to have an Extreme Rules premium live event with actual Extreme Rules matches.
Wasn't it? That was my favorite thing of the Vince McMahon era at the end. Extreme Rules pay per view. It's like, what are you having? One Extreme Rules match.
Yeah,
Like,
this
TLC. We're gonna have one TLC match, and that's it. What the what's the point? What? Believe it or not, No Mercy sounded a lot better than TLC for one TLC match the whole night. So exactly. It is very. I like the direction it's going.
Thank you, Hunter. I appreciate. As I said, this is one of the shows I'm looking forward to most over the last couple events, and I mean, there's some outlier possibilities happening as well of white rabbits and things like that, but just the card itself, even if that doesn't happen, if we just get another QR code or something, like that.
Yep.
Still, this is a solid card.
And I'm finally happy that whatever the hell it was, Monday, I guess. I was like, what? I finally saw it. Well, normally I'm not looking up. I'm just listening to it and doing a million other, like Alexa Bliss. And I got to see the QR code. Which is pretty solid. And yeah, I think everyone, I see a lot of people bitching still online somehow. I don't like, you enjoyed what Vince was doing. Like you and who, when you had your worst rated show ever, not that long ago, but where it absolutely sucked.
Oh, yeah.
And Triple H is coming and made everything matter. And he's using people properly. And even in matches, there's no, there's 2 championships on the line the whole entire night, except everyone's still looking forward to it. And Roman's nowhere to be seen.
Yeah. The feuds are up and down the card. I mean, just look at take the bloodline off the table. I mean, obviously that's the biggest thing going right now, but they're not there. But I mean, you got everything with Braun Strowman. He's not on Alpha Academy stuff. That's not on here. Theory not on the card, and they all have stuff going on that's at least semi interesting.
That at least has us all invested.
Yeah, and I like they already have Monday night. We know Bobby Lashley is going to fight Seth Rollins. That's a big time match.
It's a huge match.
And
I still don't know how to feel about that. But I was like, what? My dude, it's what? And you actually, again, you want to watch it. We didn't have any of that for the longest time. Even with cars randomly crashed in the parking lot and all kinds of weird shit happening. It's still really good. Like the White Rabbit stuff, good. Look at Nikki. She's finally going back to not being an almost superhero, it seems. Good. Io and Dakota actually being used. Dominic can actually talk. I mean, it was only like 12 words, but
that was the best 12 words he's ever said.
His entire life. That was even better than his first words when everyone, hey, but that was good. Like, I really do have to give him. So anyone on the internet, like I keep commenting whenever I see people, like, how the hell did you enjoy what Vince was doing there? No one enjoyed what Vince was doing there.
No. The people that watched WWE were either children or adults that couldn't break the habit.
Yeah. And it's still one of the most toxic communities on the planet, wrestling. I mean, it really is, fan base wise. Like, it's terrifying, which is why I try to stay off the wrestling Twitter page, especially whenever Kane does anything, because holy shit. Like, after all the memories, you guys all turned on him now because of, right. Yeah, it's just proved no matter what you do, they say do this, they do that. It's just, I'm really just happy that they're doing things and everything. There hasn't been too much stupid. And they're using people properly, which really, that's the big one for me. Imperium's back together. Like I said at Clash of the Castle, I'm like, please, God, what? Don't let it be a one-off. Don't let it be a one-off. Don't let it be a one-off. He might have kept the stupid name, but at least he's not smiling at all of us anymore and just hurting my brain. That's great. Pete Dunne looks like he's going to be Pete Dunne again soon. I heard some proper trademark rumblings happening.
Yeah, sounds great.
Thank God, because he wrestles that way better than they ever had him doing anything at Butch, because that was just,
I agree.
that was dumb, but good card, yeah. And Monday's good. And even if a certain someone doesn't show up, everyone will still be happy at the end. Even though it's perfect, though, because if Seth's going straight to Bobby and that, then, you know, it's perfect timing to have a certain someone show the hell back up. But I don't want to speculate. I'm not going to be like Justin and get my hopes up and then, man, I don't want to watch anymore. He didn't show up. I don't want to let myself down. Shout out to Justin. I'm sure he won't even listen to this. You're welcome. Yeah, I'd talk shit to his face if he showed up. But again, good thing up and down. I guess we could start out with the Brawling Brutes and Imperium and the Donnybrook match. And regardless of what happens here, I'm more looking forward to Sheamus and Gunther part 2, because I thought that was probably one of the biggest highlights of Clash at the Castle, because they literally just beat the shit out of each other.
Oh, I agree. That's on tonight. They're going, or is that next week?
I think it's tonight, because tonight should be the season premiere. So
yeah,
tonight. I'm looking forward to that.
I hope stupid doesn't happen. I think stupid will probably happen tonight. I think they'll all get involved and have a big brawl of some sort at end of a no contest. But yeah, I mean, that match, that's definitely going to be to quote the good old JR, that's going to be a slobber knocker. I don't know if they can capture it as good as the singles match, just because there's too many moving parts. But
yeah, too many people have to get their spots in.
As long as they can try to do that, I mean, I want to see Butch get his spots and everybody Imperium. I mean, I have a hard time thinking they're going to book Imperium to lose.
Yeah.
If they do, obviously Gunther will be nowhere near that pin. I mean,
it'll be what's his name? Yeah. It'll be
what's his name will take the pin.
Ludwig will take the pin. There we go. Whatever his name is, I don't know. Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner. I can remember that. Whatever the hell he is, know it.
I mean, if I was a betting man, I'd go Imperium to win. Just because of the momentum Gunther has, and you can start doing some different stuff. If you're going to put Butch back to Pete Dunne, you can do that and kind of maybe break them up if you want, or however they want to play that. Yeah, I just think Imperium's going to probably win that. But I'm looking forward to that match. That match is going to be a heavy fists and cracked knuckles, and
that's my favorite part of it. It's my favorite part.
They're going to do.
They're going to beat the shit out of each other, and that's exactly what we want. Just again,
yes, you need a match like that. I'm not exactly sure what a Donnybrook. I'm sure there's going to be some shillelaghs and
there's going to be a shillelagh. There will be a shillelagh. Mark my words.
Someone's getting shillelagh'd, and
but yeah, I just think Imperium's too hot.
Yeah. I can't see you putting any kind of negativity towards Gunther right now.
Nope. And again, they've moved Pete Dunne back into his old moveset. He's back in his old gear. We've heard rumblings that the trademark and all that's coming through. This is a perfect way. They lose. He gets exiled. He comes back. Then he can go right into feud with one of them. And, that sets up that. And he can keep going on his way.
I'd love to see Pete Dunne and Sheamus. That would be great.
They would beat the hell out of me.
I don't really see Rich Holland. I'm still a little salty about him and how he injured Big E. So
I still don't understand. Well, don't worry. Don't worry. He injured Big E, and then he got the clean win the next week by mauling Kofi. I'm sorry, he shouldn't have got called up. He's only doing it for a couple months. He got hurt, and then Vince threw him directly onto the main roster. And he's good at that. Except this time, the guy almost killed somebody. It wasn't like Apollo Crews. He just didn't know what to do with. This time, he had no reason to be there. He almost killed a guy.
Yeah.
So I will always be, I'll be salty about that one for a while. I guess we can move on to Liv Morgan and Ronda Rousey in an Extreme Rules match. Hell, at least, again, I've never looked down a card at an Extreme Rules pay-per-view and actually saw 6 Extreme Rules matches, so I'm still excited about that. I don't know which way to go though, because I still am on the side of I don't see them bringing Ronda back to not be champion, and then WrestleMania against Becky as the man or whatever, so they can right that wrong of her shoulder being way off the map, whatever the hell you want to call it. I mean, Liv's doing good, and she's come back around since that whole entire finish at SummerSlam, where I mean, it didn't matter what, she could have came out to the ring buck naked. She was getting booed out of the building, and it wasn't anything of her doing. She just did what they told her to do. But
Yeah.
that ending sucked. It really did. I think she's finally come back around, which is good because I think that's helping keep the cause of her keeping the championship. Because I might add it, I just find it enjoyable to see Ronda actually on SmackDown, which she never really did in the first run, where she's just there and having matches. Like I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because she didn't the first time. It was like, hey, what? She's champion. Oh, and I mean, granted, her talking still kind of cringy.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I mean, out of the 6 matches, this is the one that I'm the least looking forward to.
Yep.
I am intrigued on where it goes. I am kind of like a 50-50 on it. I kind of want to say I think Ronda's going to get it. Just for the reasons you said, she's too big of a star to keep her off the belt. That's what they want to do. I got to imagine they're building soon to a Charlotte return and then eventually Becky. And I feel part of this title run, I'm so upset that I think it's fallen flat for Liv. It's not really her fault that first match that set the tone.
Yeah,
that was such a bad idea. And then, I mean, even when like last week, that like fake brawl thing was just awfully executed. And
I was very
it's kind
proud.
of part
I
where
beat you to the punch, texting you as what, God, this sucks. What, you beat me to it. Like,
yeah,
and the internet agreed.
Yes, like it's one of those things. I don't really like this pairing together, to be honest with you, because Liv is still so new and trying to still figure out herself. And in the long scheme of professional wrestling, so is Ronda.
Yep.
I mean, Ronda is known as the UFC, baddest woman on the planet. But other than that, she never developed the character. She hasn't really developed too much of a wrestling skill set. So neither of them can carry each other.
That's the problem.
On a wrestling format. Now, this being an Extreme Rules match, I don't expect to see many suplexes happening anyway.
No.
I'm really hoping we don't see any stupid with like Shayna Baszler getting involved. Like, if you're going to give it to Ronda, just let Ronda whoop her ass.
Yeah, let Ronda
prove
with
some
her
kendo
point.
sticks and make her tap and end it there. Like,
let
I want it to be clean.
It has to be clean, I think. Regardless of who wins, let it be that. Let it
I don't really see Liv winning. I guess the more I talk, the more I lean towards Ronda winning. I mean, I would like to see Liv win. I'd like to see her. Yeah. I'd like to see her like feud with like a Lacey Evans. It's a little bit more believable that she can beat like a Lacey Evans or someone like that than really beating Ronda, who could break her arm in like 30 seconds. If it would even take that long. Kill her. Yeah.
She could judo throw you and it would be done in about 4 or 5 seconds. Aha, crunch.
And that's nothing against Liv, because she could do the same thing to me, and I outweigh her by like 100 pounds. So,
and it's nothing against Liv, because if we go back to almost about 10 months ago, that match on Raw against Becky was god fucking awful. That match at day 1, 2 weeks later, was phenomenal. So, I mean, compared to where she was a year ago, she's a lot better. But
we had a lot of behind the scenes, because I was shocked that they were giving Liv Morgan any kind of push, because I did not understand the fanfare other than she's cute. I couldn't understand it. I was like, she can't
watch
talk.
Me on her ass.
She can't talk. She can't wrestle. And I'm proven wrong. Like, that was probably the best thing for her career. They gave her, and they didn't give it to her, which is, I'm going to give Vince credit. That's not a Vince thing to do. He doesn't have patience, or I will give him credit. He didn't give it to her, and she responded well, and she deserved this title reign. It hasn't gone exactly the way I liked it, and that's really, they force-fed Ronda down there, but that's the same thing. Like, I can't see Ronda Rousey losing twice to Liv Morgan. Like, whew.
Yeah, that's nope.
That's going to be tough. And this might be an opportunity. Maybe Charlotte finally comes back.
It's
just waiting for something for her to do. I mean, she's been married for a while. Her husband's been back in his promotion and
all hell's breaking loose with that
fighting
whole
Sammy
thing.
Guevara behind the back.
It's really fun. My favorite part, the sidebar completely off of that. Sammy shoves him first. Andrade gets sent home. And then there was that other fight. Sammy was running his mouth and touched the guy first. The other guy got sent home. And just because Sammy's one of your, people that's been there since the beginning, one fight, maybe 2 fights, sure. Once we start getting this many altercations backstage, I'm pretty sure that means Sammy's the problem. He's got a big fucking mouth and he kind of comes across as a scumbag, like in real life. Like I could see him running his mouth and someone knocking his teeth down his throat.
Yeah. He does have that.
I mean, but I'd like to. I think when it comes down to that, though, like Andrade did the match with Flair, who, of course, he says it's not over yet. He's gonna die in the ring anyway. But yeah, really, AEW, he's done nothing. So I understood. Give Charlotte time off. Jesus, we needed to not see her anymore. But this seems like a perfect, timing, no matter which way it goes. Charlotte, come back now to make that last little run. I don't see the point in wasting it until the Royal Rumble. Just because they need her just to change something up, because no offense to Shotzi, we know I love her, but holy fuck, like she had a bad couple of weeks there. You're going, doesn't even look like that's not even bad. Like that's terrible. Like it was really, so I never thought I'd say it, but then again, Charlotte would come back and within 2 weeks she just doesn't change it. It's the same shtick. That's my problem with Charlotte. It's the same thing repeatedly. She doesn't adapt. She doesn't grow. It's just the same shit. Stone Cold. What? Like he found ways to adapt. KO keeps, like, everyone adapts. Charlotte just stays Charlotte. And I know I say bring her back would be good for Liv, because that would be a good test right there. If she held on to them, I don't see her winning though, but her and Charlotte would be great. I think we'll really, sadly, we'll see how many holes Liv has in her game if that happened, but that'd be good.
Charlotte can carry that match. Charlotte can carry a match with anybody.
That's the good thing, though. We'll see some of the holes, but it'll still be a good match.
Than Charlotte than Ronda, because that's just made this. Yeah,
it's so weird. Like it's like that was my big disappointment for SummerSlam. Like it started so good, like Bailey, Io, Dakota, even though Io's name's spelled wrong, but like good. Like, and then we got to that match. I'm like, that's it. Like we started like up here, and then we just missed the cliff. They just suicided that. That was bad. But again, she's recovered, so I can't completely talk shit. It is the match I'm least looking forward to. But so they can't start it with that. Hopefully they start it with like the Donnybrook match. Just let them beat the hell out of each other. I think that would be.
I think they started with Seth and Riddle.
That would be another good one too.
Because that structure takes so long to put together. I gotta imagine they're gonna start with that.
Yeah, I'm saying that would be that or the Donnybrook, just because it'll start it spiked. Spiked up there, and then we could fit that match somewhere in between. Put it in the middle. Why? Everyone will be really high. Put it there. Then we can build them back up and save the night. It's gonna be. I think it'll be a good match. It's just neither of them, like you said, carry any of it. But this will be a match of the night. One of the better ones. Bailey and Bianca. I think. I just don't know which way they're gonna go. I mean, Bailey, like, I don't know. I didn't see that. I did the pre-show for Clash at the Castle. I'm like, what? Bianca and them are gonna lose. What? They ain't putting a pin anywhere near. And they're like, no shit. But okay. Like, okay, what? Bailey just pinned her. What? Triple H is definitely in charge now. Didn't see that one coming.
Didn't see that coming for a mile.
Untouchable.
I think Bailey wins this. I think they put the title on Bailey.
Yeah.
But Bianca's at a part where she doesn't need that title. She's basically had the title for
years.
Going 2 years. I mean, other than the little spot where she lost it to Becky for a couple months, which was then just her building up to beat Becky.
Yep.
I mean,
the show was
you
built
could
around
give her
her.
something else.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the most interesting match on the card, solely for the fact that I think if we're going to get a White Rabbit return, I think it's happening in this match.
Yeah.
Because I think the extracurriculars of this match, because Bianca and Bayley's not just going to be Bianca and Bayley.
Yeah.
You're going to have
Everyone's
Dakota and Io and Asuka and Little Miss Bliss. And that's where I think we are going to get. I don't know exactly.
Look at that. I actually pointed properly that time without trying. Right to that lady.
Yes. I don't
lady.
know if we're going to get Bliss heel turn. I could see something along the lines like all hell breaks loose and Alexa gets a hold of either Io or Dakota, and she's really, really angry, and she does Sister Abigail, and boom, that wakes up the Fiend or what? I don't know, but
and the roof literally blows off of whatever damn Philly. The roof will blow off the place. Actually, you guys are psychotic. No offense.
And I think with all that crazy, I think we could get to in a perfect scenario. Alexa does that. The light goes to red. They play the White Rabbit music. Out comes the Fiend. They stare at each other. And while everybody's looking like, what the heck is going on? Bayley scampers up and grabs the title. I could see that.
That would be as well. And no one will care. That's the perfect way to get her off. But no one will care. If she loses, we'll be the whole crowd will be like, yeah, what? Who cares about them? Which, no offense to Bayley, but Bayley can build off of that. Bayley was in the top of her game before her knee got hurt. I thought she was doing really some of her best work with Bianca, just because Bianca was so different than everyone else on the roster at the time before Bayley hurt her knee. I thought Bayley finally got to that level. I still think she should give the APA their door back.
Yes.
Let's not forget that. Give them their door back. Damn, they earned it. But I think her being champion is it's like she's just too good. And again, Bianca doesn't need it anymore.
No, she does not. And if you're gonna have
White Rabbit, let me in.
That's my perfect scenario world. I think this match goes on last. If this match goes on last, buckle up because it's coming.
It's happening.
If this comes up in the middle of the card, it's not happening. But if this is at the end, to me, as far as a White Rabbit return, or if it is who everyone thinks it is, I mean, this match and
oh my
maybe
God,
McIntyre Cross could make sense.
Oh my God, think if it isn't.
Oh God,
don't pull that shit in Philly, but don't have it be someone else.
Oh, that'd be horrible.
In Philly.
You remember what happened when Daniel Bryan didn't win the Royal Rumble there? You sent out The Rock.
And he got booed out the building.
And it could not save what you did.
If you smell... Oh, wait. What? But there's the instant pop, and then, well, he got his 3 seconds of fame, and we know why you're here. What? You. Which is why
because we're mad.
I show that to Hannah all the time. Let The Rock, what he's like, watch this. And you could hear it sustain like, went from very happy to really pissed. And there he was, holding Roman's arm in the ring, and no one cared. No one cared in the worst way possible. Like that was that was bad.
If they're doing a swerve where they're on purposely trying to make everybody feel it's Bray, because I mean, if you look at the clues, I mean that's,
and if you look at his Twitter, I mean,
it's all what it points to. I mean, if they anything that's not, I mean, I guess somebody else could be if you're doing a group, but it needs to like be apparent, like Eric Redbeard, or
that'd be great to see him.
Bo Dallas, if you get Bray's brother, or just like some masked character would be all right. If you come out there with Joe Gacy, that place is going to tear everything down.
Yeah, they're not known for being pleasant to anything. Like they win and they're still mad.
Yes.
There's a reason ECW made it there.
Yes.
They will. They don't got a problem fucking dangling you off the top of, the link because you're wearing the wrong team's jersey. Be like, no, really, what? Like they're just
there is
mean.
a reason there is a prison at the football stadium.
I'm just
us Philly guys are not always the most pleasant. I mean, we threw snowballs at Santa, so
yes, that's what I always come down to. Whenever someone's an Eagles fan, there, you're like, we're great. Like, what? You threw snow and ice balls at Santa Claus.
he did have a Dallas Cowboys bag, so he kind of had it coming.
He did have it coming. I mean, I don't even. I'm not
still
even.
Santa.
I hate the Eagles. I hate the Eagles. No offense. They took over 97.9X. It's not my fault. The only good radio station to listen to, and they stole it from me on Sunday mornings. It's not my damn fault. But whenever they did good, I was happy. Why? Because you guys had talent. I just like the other side. But again, I'm not an Eagles fan. I would have thrown batteries at Santa Claus with just for the Cowboys' sake.
Exactly. Yeah.
Blame Fox. America's Game of the Week does not have to have the Cowboy. No one likes them.
No.
I know a lot of people in Texas. None of them are Cowboys fans either. What? Everyone hates them.
But if you look at regular season matchups, man, they draw, and it's because everybody wants to watch them lose.
Yeah, like that's why America's please God they lose of the week. If they're up by a lot, everyone's going to change the channel. But back on topic, good luck. Again, like I said, best of luck to y'all though, because I just hope you. I think it's going to be a late run. I think a late run in the playoffs, a deep one, and then losing will be better than going to the Super Bowl. And I just, no offense, like the other conference, like it's just too stacked with people that have been there, done that, and
yeah, I don't think the Eagles are ready for
a deep playoff run. I think is what they need this year.
Bills.
Yeah, a deep playoff run this year. I think. Again, I'm giving you. Hey, I said I hate them. I still think they're going to make it division conference. But they're that good. They're going to be towards the end. It's just don't go to the Super Bowl. Please don't. It's just there actually is a real thing. You lose that. It doesn't even work out too well the next year. Even Brady had an off year after he lost Super Bowl. Still made it back to the playoffs, but in his defense, the Bills sucked, the Dolphins sucked, and well, the Jets. Need I say more? It's pretty easy to make the playoffs in that division. Everyone sucked.
That's very true. Very true.
But again, I think that'll be a good one. No matter what, I'm looking forward to that more than the Liv and Ronda match. But think about it. If they do that, Bliss comes out, Sister Abigail, and we're all like, and everyone gets to thinking, and then either the fight pit or the cross thing or something, then the lights go out and we all go, what the? Like it could just be leading. It could be the precursor to him coming back at a later time.
Could be.
He has to. Like they've been playing this many games. They've made enough. What you paid for his contract and merchandise.
Yeah, I gotta imagine this one's gonna. If you know, I didn't want to get on a
in
crazy
Philly.
Fight
in Philly.
It has to be. I'm not saying that it's going to be a physical reveal, but we have to know it at the end of this, because if you look at the next two premium live events, you have Saudi, which that doesn't make sense to do a big reveal there.
They already have,
and then you have Survivor Series, which the whole tone of Survivor Series is going to be what I expect to be War Games with.
Yeah. By the way, thank you, Triple H.
Yes. The Bloodline, and I don't care who you put in with the Bloodline.
The Bloodline, and you can get 5 guys from the front row. What? We're good. Like,
it's
finally.
It's going to be awesome. War Games. I imagine I want it to kind of be like, you know, I don't want them to go like, let's just find 5 good guys to put together.
I think Triple H will do it. Triple H always put meaning into it when he was in charge of NXT, which is why the most recent War Games in NXT was my least favorite. New guys against the old guys. I mean, what they just, hey, ready, go. Why? Because you guys have been on TV for like 3 minutes. What? Hey, and then you're going to win. Like we all know 2.0's, like we know Black and Gold's over, but we don't need to worry about that anymore. We knew you were going to fire all of them. It's okay. I think it'll be much like I thought to build for years. And it would fit though. I mean, if they only have 4 guys, but again, what do they do with the Fiend? Like suddenly he just shows up and kills everyone there. It doesn't make sense. The Saudi show, they already have Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is, I don't know. They had Jackass fighting for the title over there because they want big people over there. So I mean, that's the show right there. I'm sure they're gonna bring Goldberg or someone else back just for filler. Just don't drop anyone off the fucking head.
Yeah, and that's why I think like this has to be the event. This has to. Is my thought. This has to be the event. I mean, I don't know if he'll be there in person, but I think we're going to get more than a QR code. Yeah, let's just put it that way.
I already told everyone my theory on it. Like the only other thing that makes sense to me is like Royal Rumble lights go out at number 30. Suddenly he's in the middle of the ring. He just throws everyone out. And we're like, okay, what? At least, okay. Alrighty, that what I don't. It wouldn't even make sense because he doesn't need the title. But at least poof,
Exactly.
like. Okay, but he throws everyone out. I could see that. He's not going to be in the middle of the ring doing push-ups like Stone Cold, jumping up on turnbuckles. Not going to be that good, but it has to be soon because they just had nothing coming up that would make any.
Yeah, and you're not going to just do it on a random Raw, especially not during Monday Night Football season. Like, it just wouldn't make sense because you're not going to have the viewership for that, and it's not going to draw. Where if you have him come back on Saturday, that's going to draw for you Monday. But just having him show up on a Monday, you're not going to get any kind of ratings spike. Everybody's watching
wrestling,
football.
Yeah, and Deer Wrestling.
As long as the Denver Broncos aren't playing.
Jesus Christ, I'm so happy. I wasn't watching. I wasn't either. I was finally watching Dynamite, and Crystal's just every 3 is like, Jesus Christ, just make it in. I'm like, that good, huh? Like, hey, Crystal, what? At least you're staying up and watching it, and you're in California. What? So at least you're not sitting up watching the game till 11 going,
this sucks.
Yeah, so at least you have that going for you. I mean, well, you're not just like, oh, Jesus Christ, make it stop. But everyone on the internet, before we move on, I want to say, please, God, just anyone talking about how the ratings drop. Yeah, Triple H is doing so good for Raw. Monday Night Football started, you stupid fucks. That's automatically going to get millions no matter who's playing because people are just going to watch it. It's not the product sucking. Football's back. Wait till football's done. I bet you they will get those couple, 100,000 people that they lost that went over to football. Like, that's not on them.
Because I hear that argument too, and they're like, oh, well, like The Bachelor doesn't drop, or the target audience.
Guys aren't watching The Bachelor.
It's the same target audience as the NFL, and the NFL is king in the United States. Everybody knows it. It doesn't matter who's playing out. I guarantee you that Thursday night snooze fest will have better ratings than anything on Thursday night.
Yeah.
Even though it's on stupid Amazon. And
people still watch it, though.
Yeah.
And I've heard they don't even get me on Amazon. I've heard really bad things about that Rings of Power or whatever the hell they're doing. It was just, I heard it sucks.
I haven't started it. I wanted to wait for that to finish.
I'm waiting for House of Dragons to end before I get the subscription back for HBO.
I watched that, even though I have not watched this Sunday. I've been
HBO Max. There you go. I'm waiting until it's over so I could just watch it all. But I'll give you your $9.10, whatever the hell those dollars was. I'm gonna wait until it's over. If it's that good, I'm not gonna sit there going, God damn it, what? I want to just sit down one morning and go, watch the whole thing and be happy. But next one, I think this one's going to be fantastic. Fight Pit. Matt Riddle, by the way. Matt, he got his name back. I mean, Jesus Christ, Vince. Like, it's his real name. Like, I know he wanted to make all the money, so couldn't be Matt anymore. You had to just be Riddle so Vince could make all the money because Vince is a dick. I've never denied this. He's never denied that. Hell, Vince himself has never denied that.
This is very true.
He knows he's a dick, but I think that's going to be one of the best matches of the night, and I think it's the perfect ending for it. And I don't know who to pick, but because Seth's already going on to Lashley no matter what, and Seth really doesn't need. Yeah. Like, Seth could lose every match the rest of his career, and it wouldn't make a difference. Like, he's over. He's where he needs to be. I don't know how to call it.
Yeah, and I kind of on that thought process as well. Like, I think Riddle wins just because Seth doesn't need it. And I'm gonna be honest, I never watched Fight Pit when they did that match in NXT. I've never seen it, so I don't really know much about this structure. But
let me draw you a mental picture. Okay, it's a steel cage, right? Except on the top of the steel cage, there's a platform that they can go up on and do stuff on top of that. If they climb up on there. I like the matches. I thought it was, I think was Ciampa and Thatcher did the one. I thought that was really good. Too bad Thatcher hasn't come back. I like Thatcher. What can I say? There's something about people, missing half a tooth. They just, they inspire me. But I'm looking forward to it. Again, most people didn't see it, but NXT, like, how often did you get to see? But the fight pit was great. Like I enjoyed all of those. It was different, and I think that it's perfect because I feel during the 2020 COVID Thunderdome, all of that, I thought Vince violently overdid Hell in a Cell and steel cage matches just for the fuck of it because he could. Like I saw one too many of them. I went fight pit. Thank God it's on normal steel cage. I'm tired of seeing them. They did so many, but what else could they do when they had TV screens and no people? And
Yeah. So I'm excited. I mean, I can imagine Riddle will do some crazy stuff. Seth is key to do some crazy stuff.
Seth.
I think it's gonna be awesome. The X Factor. Do you think Cormier gets physical?
I'm sure at some point something stupid's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean,
Seth's gonna shove him. Something dumb's gonna happen. Like it's guaranteed something just stupid. But it's not really stupid. It's one of those, it'll fit into the context of it, and we all see it coming. But, obviously, I mean, they're talking about what Cormier and someone at Saudi, like as a possible. Yeah, so him getting physical just to show what he could do. And yeah, because we have to have the big names in Saudi. How about we just don't have a show in Saudi? Because they all suck.
Yeah.
All of them. And guess who's not going back to Saudi? Mansoor. Best believe he ain't showing up in Saudi with that gimmick. He'll die.
Yes.
And I'm not joking. He'll actually die. Believe it or not, they're not nice people. The people there are nice. The people running that bitch, they're not nice. Not at all.
No.
They will decapitate your ass, which is a shame. But hey, at least we won't see him have a match. Woo! We won't see Mansoor carry on his winning streak in Saudi. But yeah, I'm sure he'll come back for something. I think it's going to be one of the matches of the night, just because Seth can lose and it doesn't mean anything. He still has Lashley tomorrow, so it really doesn't mean anything. And then again, Riddle can move on, and everyone's speculating even him for, if the Fiend comes back, like him being one of the guys, like they could do a million things no matter what. I don't think just because Seth's so over, Riddle really is over, no matter how much people talk shit. Guess what? I'm one of those people. NXT TakeOver, whatever the hell it was. I turned on, like, what the? And I turned it off. What, that quick? I'm like, nope, what? I ain't got no time for this dumb motherfucker. I've come around.
Yep, me too.
He can wrestle. I mean, he does better wrestling than people do with shoes on, like barefoot, bouncing off the ropes and stuff. Like, he's talented if you get past all the bro. You just have to get past the stupid, like, if
RVD came along solely for the fact that I think his character is stupid, but he gives it 110%. So because of that, he bought in. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
And I towards the end, I really loved what him and Randy were doing, because that's so different. And those kind of difference work,
Yeah. Kane and Daniel Bryan. Like, they've put them together and it's worked. That was one of
Rock and Sock. That's another oddities, I respect that he has 100% bought into the stupid.
Yeah. And he does it so well.
Yes. And I agree. I think that match is going to be great. I believe Matt Riddle will win just because, Seth doesn't need it.
Seth, nowhere near, but he's already moving on to other things. But that's how it. It's probably going to Riddle because he's already moved on to Lashley, but it actually doesn't matter. No offense to them. I'm just saying the ending of it, he's already got his thing. It'll help, keep Riddle here for beating someone like Seth. Well, Seth's moving on because Seth could lose 365 days a year and it wouldn't make a difference.
Nope.
He's there.
He will dance and he will say stuff and they will make fun of him for his wife being better than him, but it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter
at all. Which I'm very glad about. Which gets us on to, I'm an excited match to see the strap match, at which Drew wasn't walking around with it on SmackDown as much. Like, what? We get it, bro. And then when you're not even use the thing when you're carrying it around, like that actually is the textbook definition of stupid. But yeah. I think it's going to be a great match, and especially as that blonde lady right there or right there. I mean, whichever one I'd prefer that one. But she hasn't had any crazy slicked back hair or any of that ridiculous make. Like, she's just been normal Scarlett, and he can talk. And we didn't get him see like a lot of that before. Like he's carrying all of it just by doing those vignettes, and I think he's doing a great job. I don't know though. I mean, like it would be dumb to bring him back and have him lose to Drew because I think Drew could again. He's one of those. He could keep losing, and
Yeah,
he's still Drew. I think he's
yeah.
earned that
I
right.
can't see Cross losing, especially. I mean, they're hinting at him and Roman down the future. You know, TikTok to Roman, and it would knock off the momentum that he has. Where Drew,
Drew's Drew.
Drew's your number one baby face on SmackDown. I actually could see him moving back to Raw shortly, going back there. I think the draft is coming up soon.
Again.
I hate the concept of the draft, but whatever.
I only hate the concept because
they half-ass it.
Yeah, 3 months later, it doesn't make hell, 3 days later, it doesn't make a difference. Hit Row was like the number 2 draft for SmackDown, and they were all fired 2 weeks later. Yeah. Which, by the way, I'm pretty sure Vince did that just so they had a 90-day non-compete instead of a 30-day non-compete. Otherwise, why call them up, give them a new contract 10 minutes before you're going to fire them? They were very over down in NXT just like Cross, and then suddenly you gave him a helmet, and
lose Jeff Hardy, and
no one's touched him in 2 years. Jeff Hardy beat him, what, minute and a half? I think
in which Jeff Hardy hadn't won a match in like 6 months, and they told you during the broadcast that Jeff Hardy hasn't won a match in like 6 months.
They just kept just grinding him farther down, and then like he pins him. I'm going, and I'm sure all of us. I don't know. We were probably texting going, like Vince, what are you on, buddy? What you on? What you got to be on something to come up with that. Granted, Scarlett wasn't there because of her, let's say there was a popping, I believe, of something, but yeah, like that whole first time, I'm happy to see him back. I'm happy to see him properly used. I'm happy to see Scarlett as him side. The entrance is normal. He's actually talking because he did do that in NXT. He didn't do it a lot when he was down there under Triple H, but he could do it. I think he's doing 1,000 times better now.
Yes.
And people complaining about like he's not completely cut. Like, guys, he's still out there killing it. And he's actually in really good shape. Sorry, he has a little baby fat. It's like to blow whatever the hell he blew apart. Like he's never going to be that guy. He doesn't need to be.
No.
Doesn't need to be that guy at all. So anyone complaining about his shape, like, guess what? Me included. He's in way better shape than I could ever dream of being. So how about you just shut the up? Look what shape he's in. Look what's standing next to him. You lose. Argument. But I think that's going to be I haven't seen a strap match in a while. I think it's going to kill it. And again, Cross has to win. No offense to Drew. Like they've just been building Cross too much, and Drew can afford it. He's in the same boat as Seth. And we'll go with Bianca. I think she's finally to that point. Doesn't matter. She could lose and no one would care. Not in a bad way. Like she would still stay where she is. She wouldn't, do a downward spiral because she has done the work. I don't like looking at her. There's something about her beady eyes, and then I hear her at events and she's talking normal, and I hear her in the ring, and it's like, can we just have you talk normal? I don't need to hear the extra. Let's just leave it at that.
I actually saw Bianca was on the college game day pre-show on Saturday morning a couple weeks ago.
Yep, when they were in
and it was
Memphis.
Interesting because she was her normal self, but then she kept going in and out of character, and it was very confusing to me.
Yep, you heard normal her, and then you're going, that's character her.
EST,
normal her?
All the EST crap that she does, and
which does hurt my head.
It was great though, because her and Pat McAfee going back and forth. Because if you didn't, Pat McAfee's on college game day right now.
And shout out to Triple H, Wade Barrett, filling in until Pat's back. Thank you.
I'm afraid I got some bad news.
Please, God, bring back the podium. We just turn around and went,
yes.
There he is, like 44. Going, what the hell is it? What? 20 feet in the air. I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you. Like when he first came back and he did Halloween Havoc, last year? You said you're going to dress up for Halloween. What? I did. What? Exactly what? He's the king of bad news. Yeah, not to dress up, but that was the greatest thing ever. And hopefully that means a few matches because I just don't like the way his first run ended. And I don't have to hear Byron Saxton anymore. Too bad they kept Graves. I mean, no offense to him since he got married. I don't know that he was on this roll. And then just having him next to Byron for that long was just the same repetitive shit every week. Then he got married. So whenever she was around, it became the same repetitive shit and got even worse.
Oh yeah, it was bad.
And I'm happy that Booker's going down to NXT, that Wade's going up to SmackDown while Pat's not there. And at least we don't have to hear Byron anymore. But they got what's her name? I just saw what's her name came back. He used to do backstage interviews, whatever her name was. Sorry, what's her name? I can see your face. I can see your face in my head. The counts I just saw before we started this. But I'm glad he's finally making the changes. I think it was necessary. I'm gonna miss Jimmy. I thought Jimmy was better than Byron, but he was just. I thought he was slipping up. Talking. He was that Kevin Patrick. I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do on commentary, but no offense, Kevin. Do a good job, but at least they're finally changing it up and trying things because I thought Raw's commentary was stale. I can't say SmackDown was because we have Pat McAfee on the table on a chair, beating the hell out of Corbin. I mean, you know what? Pat's perfect. Pat's the greatest thing ever. But it's perfect. He doesn't need and he can put on very good matches, like he did against Adam Cole, who got fired because he wouldn't get a new contract because he wanted to keep his Twitch account. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Vince. By the way, if anyone gets this back to Vince McMahon, that makes sense. He wants to keep his Twitch, no, cool, bye. Like that's all it came down to. And you let him walk. Granted, he went to AEW and hasn't made a difference. Because again, you watched last Wednesday night. They started off good. They ended good. And then there was a whole lot of
I don't know. I watched Wednesday night and I can't say I got to see 45 seconds straight of people rolling around. It's funny. My mom texted me in the middle of it. When did this become gymnastics? They're like, "Whoa, this is awesome!" No, this is stupid. This is
very, very. Again, I'd say it's the most.
It happened in like 2 or 3 matches too. Like it wasn't just one match where you're like, "Okay, we're gonna display our technical wrestling abilities." No,
those aren't the right guys to have prove their
those aren't the guys to do that. Multiple matches, and I'm like, oh my god, this is hard to watch. And I was one of their biggest cheerleaders, and it's
you were. Well, I was texting you back going, I didn't waste my time on that shit. And now what? I waste my time on the first match, and then I come back for the last match. Well, it's just everything else you're going.
Yeah, and it's like that was a big show. That was our 3-year anniversary, and they didn't have a whole lot of the stupid backstage stuff that usually gets really dumb.
They just carried it into the ring to do
stuff. It was just random matches, and
Darby and these guys have gone back arguing with each other since last week. That's selling it. What? They've had problems for 4 days. What? Thank God for the Acclaimed. At least they're really over. They deserve it.
I mean, I don't care for the scissoring thing.
Whatever. I don't care about that, but
stupid. But they have found something and it works.
Yeah, and they got someone over. AEW finally got someone over besides MJF that
and
they actually had.
So hoping, because I believe this Monday for the season premiere of Raw is the anniversary of the Generation X. They are going to mention the scissoring. It's getting mentioned.
Or someone's gonna have a giant scissor just hanging over the shoulder. Just it's gonna happen. It has to happen. But at least they're over.
Hunter and Sean are sitting there thinking of something.
Hell, all of them are. Hey, bring back Road Dogg. As Tony wouldn't hire him, and then Triple H took over, and suddenly he was talking all kinds of shit. It was amazing how that happened, but it should be a good one. And if they don't have a giant pair of scissors, I'm gonna be offended. Or if they don't,
there's gonna be a
scissor me, daddy. Or so they're going, what? Jesus Christ, what? But at least they got over, and I'm gonna leave it at that. At least they finally got someone besides MJF that was a homegrown person over. As you look at the rest of the card, like I watched with her, she's like, didn't he used to? Yeah, didn't? Yeah, yeah. Well, it's WCW Part 2. For those of us that speak French, I apologize for butchering the number 2, but Part 2.
That's the AEW in a nutshell. It is WCW Part 2.
Even with more money.
even their backstage craziness. You know, nobody gets along. That's what happens when you don't have a clear boss. You have a guy that has a lot of money.
Yeah, and the inmates run
but
the asylum.
He's just a wrestling fan who wants to be fans of all the wrestlers, and
doesn't lead to good things.
Do you think Vince was sitting in catering, eating food with?
No.
Actually,
nowhere near at all. No.
Exactly.
No.
He wasn't sitting in catering, eating lunch with mid-card talent. He was sitting in his office or
being Vince.
Guerrilla area. He was not.
Or he was getting
and I personally I feel Cody was the leader there and ran it, and he got shit on, and that's why he came back to WWE. He's like, you know what? Fine. And miraculously, within 6 months, everything's falling apart.
By the way, he deserved to be higher on the list for the matches he put on between AEW and WWE before he got hurt. And two, someone said PWI's their list. Roman deserved to be number one because the championships won. Like, he's done 7 matches for the year. 7. Like, he gets to be number one over people that have wrestled like 300 times. He's done 7, and he's number one. Okay, guess what? That's how we know the PWI thing is bullshit. Is he? No offense, he might be really over, but what else did they build around him? That's why he's so over, because they didn't do anything for 2 years except make him look like the shit. Now we're all going, who's left? Literally, why? We fired everyone else, and Kevin should have won. The end. Once the referee got to 6 and he just stopped counting, we're going 7. Can I get a 7? 7? 7. At least Heyman could have kicked the referee over because he couldn't work the key. I mean, Jesus God. Kevin should have won there. All on its own, but it gets us to the last one. I'm excited about it. I wish they'd stop trying to cripple Edge and then bring him back 10 minutes later, but it's been a good story at least. I mean, compared to what it could have been, I mean, Edge and Finn, I Quit match again. 6 Extreme Rules matches, people. 6. Count them. That's more we've had in the last 3 years combined.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the story is going to be great. I think, Judgment Day and all that stupid's going to happen. All the idiocy is going to raise, probably going to show. Dom's going to do something. Ray will be there. Stupid will happen. But I still think it's going to be one of the best stories of the night just because of who's involved. Because Edge he hasn't missed in the ring since he's come back.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be a great match. Going to be some barbaric stuff happening. I just have this envision,
visions,
that I think Balor's going to win. The Judgment Day needs something.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just keep talking about how you're the best and you keep losing. Just it doesn't work. If you're going to build them up for something, they need to win something. And I think Balor needs this and is going to get it. And on the same regard, I have a hard time envisioning Edge ever saying the words "I quit."
Yeah, so I think he's going to be passed out or something.
I either that, or I could see a scenario where they get Beth involved somehow, and Ripley's gonna curb stomp her repeatedly or something, and he quits because of that.
It's gonna be something stupid if he loses. Maybe they'll go old school. They'll have it play over the PA system while he's about to do it. I quit. Hey, a guy that had a lot of creative pull back then was involved really involved now. I mean, I haven't played I quit. His mouth didn't move. Ding, ding, ding. We're all going, what the was that? But we were all very happy with it back then because, the product didn't suck. But I don't know. It has to be something like that. Because again, I've been thinking about it. I don't see him losing clean. I don't see him losing without, either he passes out or it's going to be something stupid if he loses. But I don't know. They've been doing the thing very well, I think. Or do we see an AJ finally, come out and attack Edge and again pass out, blackout, because AJ was a babyface for the longest time, and I thought he was a really good heel. So turning him, but I just don't like the idea of turning him with the Judgment Day because it's just
there's too many, and you just bury what talent he has. So yeah,
it'd just be too stupid. They already have Dom. What? We don't need to add another where we're going. What is that like? Why? I think it's going to steal the show, and I can't take anything. What Priest has been giving good promos. I don't know how he hits that one octave with his voice. No, the hell, I have to try to do that. I don't get it, but I thought he's been doing well. I can't believe Dom out talked Finn on Monday. Last Monday night. What if you just kept going when you said last night and just moved on? People wouldn't have booed you nearly as bad if you just went plan B. What you keep going? I mean, what I mean last night. I'm so pissed off. I meant last. Stop. What last night? What? Just keep going. People would mention it like that much, and it would move on. When you go and try to go into deep correction mode, I thought that made it worse. But
exactly,
I think this will be a great one. Again, I don't think it's. I don't know. I think just because Seth's involved in a match, and again, then we could be like, well, this will be the match of the night, and then Bray can come back, and no one will care about anything the rest of the night. What happened? What happened? I don't know. What shit? I don't. We don't care what
they wrestled.
They were on the show. What? I was too busy watching everyone lose their minds on Twitter. I'll pull out the mask. I don't care. I used it the other night to scare my kids, my buddy's kids. They wouldn't go to bed. They would say hi to feed man. Gone upstairs. What? We didn't see him the rest of the night. Yeah, what? I'm here for you, buddy. What? Brought to you in part by me paying full price for mine, and Justin got his 50% off when they were trying to get rid of them a week and a half later. Because Justin, you're still a dick. The only time he messages us is when he's telling us how we have to spend more money because of new video games or something. What a dick.
Yeah, right.
I already know how much money I waste. You don't need to tell me even more ways to waste money. Hopefully we get him on Sunday.
Hopefully.
He has to be here for the post show. I don't give a damn. I will fire him through a cannon. It's number 200. I've made it to 200. We've made it to 200. And I've taken a long break in case anyone hasn't noticed. There's been a lot of shorts on YouTube. There's been a lot of episodes on audio. Taking a break, and I'm still waiting. The 200 is coming, and I think this is probably the best show they put out in a while. I don't think the Saudi show, again, it's a Saudi show. Goldberg's going to be there, Logan Paul. It's just going to be all the fluff to make the
Saudi
Prince happy. You know, War Games is going to be great. So, I mean, that no matter what, I think that's going to be a winner. I think they'll actually start building that on Monday to get towards it because there's no point. Saudi's going to have Goldberg and everyone's going to show up. So I think they'll start.
It's a premium live event that the United States viewers are watching at like noon. So yeah, no one cares. Like I gotta imagine those have to be like their worst like viewership live on Peacock would be the one.
Especially the days of the week they do it too. Like it's just like anyone they do in other countries that come on at like noon on like a Friday or Thursday. I mean, that has to absolutely suck.
I think this Saudi one is on Saturday.
It's like when I'm doing the racing show. The ARCA race, it's tomorrow, but they're not airing it until, 2 Fridays from now at noon on USA. People are going to watch that. No, they aren't. But no one cares. Or the F1 race this weekend. It's on at 1 a.m. because it's in Japan. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you. Not at all. That sucks. I think, but again, it's Saudi. Like they get the money. They don't care about viewers on that one. We all know they're getting paid.
Yeah.
So they don't have to put on a good show for us, but make the prince happy and you get to leave alive because they're psychotic. And then these people in Saudi Arabia, because for some reason they pop up on the people that listen. We mean the people leading the country, not all of you. You all know they're psychotic. They'll decapitate you. Why? Because you're walking down the street on a Tuesday. They don't care. They're crazy people. But one of the better shows of the year. Hopefully there's nothing stupid. Hopefully, God, please don't pull that SummerSlam with Liv. Don't do that with Liv. She can't afford it. She's going to win. Don't pull that. Like that'll absolutely. Again, she can come out to the ring naked on Friday. She'll get booed. People's phones will be out, but they will be telling her that she sucks all the way there, all the way back. We can't do any more of that. And otherwise, I think it's actually a really stacked card. And again, only 6. They don't need that many.
It's crazy. Yeah, they have 6 good matches. Less is more. And you're not stealing everything from your weekly shows. I like it. Because, another one I even mentioned, you got the whole Miz And
see, I forgot about that. That's the best thing they have going right now. There's just Loomis. What we all know, I love Dexter Loomis. I'm like, don't fire him, and he's fired. Like, damn it, what? And then Vince made Indy playoff. You left me. It's what? His ass got fired. What? We just stopped this already. What? Now she's heartbroken because he left. What? Vince, like Vince is writing this. We're gonna make her play heartbroken because Dexter left her. Actually, bro, what? You fired his ass. What? Like that's actually proof that he's a shitty human being. And I wish their ending wasn't him walking away before he got arrested because I thought that was just dumb. But hey, I was like, and Hannah looks at me and I'm like, oh no, like yes, no. But that's one of the best things they have going is Dexter and Miz, and I think it's going to be a great payoff when it finally happens. I like the dragging it out. I only need to see Miz for 4 minutes a week. I really do.
Yeah, well, you're going to get a lot of him on Monday because I think he's having a birthday back.
Of course he is. And Dexter's going to show up, and Maurice's tits are going to show up, and the peasants will rejoice. We get cleavage. He's going to get choked out. Everyone wins. We get tits ass, and Loomis. Who the hell's going to complain about that? What? Someone please comment and complain about that. Like we've watched SummerSlam. We're looking at Maurice, and every time we're going, what? The cameras. We all went during their entrance because right when it was getting ready to zoom in on it, they moved the camera farther down the ramp. Lie to me. Tell me you weren't going. Fuck. We were all waiting. That's what she's there for. Obviously, she's not hanging out that much for us to not be going. Because no one cares about the Miz. I do want to know where Ciampa is, but hopefully that means he's done with him too. That would be great because I think he deserves better, and I think Triple H is going to do way better for him than calling him up just to be like, hey, what, you're going to be in a bunch of random shit and that you're going to be his lackey. Like, this is why I said I'd rather retire.
Yeah. I've heard maybe Ciampa grow some bunny ears, you know. Heard some talks of that if he goes the route of a group.
I've heard so many.
I know there's so much.
Just pull it out just pull it tomorrow night. Just pull it tomorrow night. But whatever you're gonna do it. Get it over. This has been weeks. I'm pretty sure you've done this many good weeks. Stop trying.
I love it though because
I love every second. Hell, I'm like,
they have not even wasted a second of TV time.
Nope. It's just a quick little
commentary's not talking. Like they have
beautifully.
Other than Triple H doing some interview where he said it's not who you're talking about, which whatever. But
obviously, oh yeah, it's Bray Wyatt. He'll be here on Tuesday. What? See you later. Obviously, he's gonna say no. So,
but I mean, I love it to build this much interest, and you've spent 0 seconds.
You wasted no TV time, which is. I mean, hell, look how many weeks it took when they did it during commercial breaks, and none of us even knew about it. What they were just lights would go and everyone would be doing their thing, and then they'd see it on social media going, what the is that? What they wasted nothing. Like they have done it so much better than Vince did anything in his last couple of years combined. Except for Roman. I do find it amazing that the Bloodline's been on the both shows this much, and none of them are even on the card, and no one complains. Like that's how good it's going right now. But and Sami Zayn, what? Shout out to Sammy, what?
Shout out to the honorary Oos.
You and everything between you and Jay is just fantastic. And that's going to lead to a hell of a match down the road. However the hell they pull it, it's going to be good. And shout out to everyone like Hannah, the one that's the same guy from NXT. Yeah, Sammy looks a little old now. That's where we're going to leave it. So thanks. Share it out. Let us know what you think. And until Sunday, peace.